a suit bag. I opened the suit bag. This is in it. It's not a suit. It's just a jacket.
Nice
I don't
pastel.
remember buying it. I don't know when I got it. I don't know whose it is. I don't know.
Pastel,
but I
baby.
decided I'd wear it. Well, I had a
140
tie
degrees
that I
out
knew.
there.
Yeah, the tie would bring it all together, so I went with it. We'll see how it works out. Welcome to PTI, boys and girls. In today's episode, Tyrese Halliburton reflects, Big Dumper thumps, and Brian Windhorst joins us for 5 good minutes. But we begin today with trade activity in the NBA. The Pelicans just sent C.J. McCollum to the Wizards for Jordan Poole. This follows the news that the Boston Celtics are trading starting guard Drew Holiday to the Portland Trail Blazers for starting guard Anthony Simons. What's more, it is being reported that the Celtics are open to trading other players, including Kristaps Porzingis. Wilbon, where do you want to start?
Well, you got to start with Drew Holiday, a two-time champion, Tony, with Milwaukee and Boston. And Drew Holiday's been a terrific player for a long time, 17 years in the league. But you mentioned what Boston's doing. Look, Boston's had an ownership change. And the new owners are not going to necessarily be committed to paying two players $600 million. That would be Tatum and Brown. And then a lot of other guys, a lot of money for a team that's been a championship contender. So that payroll is going to go down, second apron, and all the things you and I are not going to get into the weeds on. So they traded away Drew Holiday. But I thought the Celtics did a great job in getting Simons, a young player who can fill it up and who's a pretty good three-point shooter. And, you know, you got younger, you got cheaper. You're going to save $40 million on your tax bill. The Celtics always seem to, whether we're talking about, you know, what Red Auerbach, going back, make the right move at the right time. Seems like a good move. And if you're going to be the Wizards, and I know you're not really thrilled with what the Wizards do, but if you can bring C.J. McCollum in to be the adult in the room, and a lot of people in the league like what the Wizards are doing and the three young players they brought in, you bring that guy in like you put in Chris Paul in San Antonio. You bring a smart, tough, disciplined, veteran player to help mentor. So, these moves are interesting moves. One will show up right away, one may take years.
I'm not going to track over anything you said. I agree with most of what you said. It's a very good trade for the Celtics. Brad Stevens makes very good trades. Everybody likes Drew Holiday. He did a great job in the Olympics. He did a great job when Boston won a championship an hour and a half ago, right, just last year when they won the championship. He's 35 years old. He's entering his 17th season. They're getting a guy who averaged 19 points last year. You don't have to worry about ball handling even without Holiday because White and Brown and Pritchard, they all handle the ball. And you're getting a guy who's 26. You just traded 35 for 26 and 35 for 26 with an expiring contract. That's wonderful. I'm a little bit more uneasy and nuanced about the possibility of Porzingis going because Porzingis, I love him when he's healthy, but he's never healthy. He's Joel Embiid, and he has a mysterious illness. So you don't know what his durability will be if and when he comes back. I'll get to the Wizards briefly. Yeah, you think more of them than I think of them. They're on a youth movement. They've drafted, 65 people in the last 4 days, it seems. And some of them might work out down the road. But they're also bringing in old people now. They're bringing in McCollum. They brought in, who they bring? Marcus Smart. They brought in Chris Middleton. It seems to me that they are trying to win the 2015 NBA championship, and I don't think they know what they're doing. That's just me. Jordan Poole, of course they were going to trade him, right? He's always traded from one bad team to another bad team. Yeah,
I'd rather have C.J. McCollum than Jordan Poole any day of the week in my locker room full of young players.
100% of the time.
That's a no-brainer.
100% of the time. I'm just saying I don't think the Wizards have a long-term plan for all these old guys. I don't.
Okay. All right. Let's move to the aftermath of Tyrese Halliburton's torn Achilles. The Pacers star posted that he did not regret playing with his calf strain, saying, quote, "I do it again and again after that to fight for this city and my brothers for the chance to do something special," close quote. He added, again, quote, "People tell me I'm going to come back stronger. What a cliche, LOL. This bleep sucks, but I will do everything in my power to get back right," close quote. Tony, how would Halliburton's comments sound to you if you were any part of Pacers Nation?
Well, let me just say that if I was a fan of the Indiana Pacers, first of all, I would be proud. I would be proud that this man put his career on the line to play in a Game 7 and win a championship from my town. And I would be proud of all the nice things that he has said about Indianapolis. And I would not be angry that he's going to be out all next year and that the team is greatly diminished because he's going to be out all next year. I wouldn't have said what he did was selfish, and I would like to think that I would have done the same thing if I were in his shoes. But I'm not a Pacers fan, and I don't live in Indiana. And so it was with great interest today that I watched a bunch of former athletes, basketball players and football players on morning television shows line up to get in lockstep, and just say how great Halliburton was. And to say I would do the same thing. They praised him, and they said I would do the same thing, and I get that. But nobody talked about the actual cost of what happened here. Not the theoretical cost, the actual cost. He's out. He's going to be gone probably the whole year. And this is not a bone that broke that with 100% certainty is going to heal. No, that's not necessarily true. You don't know how he'll be when he gets back. And so while I applaud what he did, if I were a Pacers fan, if you come to me next February, when my team is under 500, maybe I don't feel as benevolent about the thing.
I am not only not a Pacers fan and not part of the Pacers nation, I grew up in the state next door. And my tendency is to hate everything in Indiana. And let me tell you this, before I read Halliburton's explanation, this wonderful letter to everybody involved, he was already rising up my favorite player list. And now he's at the damn top of it, okay? Because this is what you do. Sports is risk. It's always risk when you go out there. And so I don't care. Yes, I'm in lockstep. This kid went out there to try to win a championship. And anybody who wants to criticize that needs to walk the hell out the side door. I don't want to hear from them.
Mike, nobody's
don't want to hear.
No, nobody's criticizing him. And I'm not criticizing him. I hope to do the same thing. But I am saying there is an actual cost that you will feel all of next year, right? You'll feel it.
There's a cost for anything. He went out there knowing this could happen. That's why he slammed the floor as many times. He knew it could happen. He hoped it didn't. He's playing for a title. Let me ask you this. How many titles the Pacers got? How many banners they got hanging up there?
They got 3 in the ABA and none in the NBA. If it's a game 7, you do it. If it's a game 2 or 3, I don't know.
Maybe
you may question it, right?
Maybe not.
I
love him.
I don't know.
It's my favorite player. Favorite player in the league.
He's not the most overrated. The playoffs proved that. Let's go back to Cal Raleigh, who we talked about yesterday. Big Dumper hit another bomb last night. That's his 4th straight game with a homer and his 32nd homer of the season. That puts him 4 clear of Aaron Judge. Now, everybody expects Aaron Judge to be the MVP again. Wilbon, would you like to make the case for Raleigh over Judge?
Yeah, Tone, it's real short. Catcher. It's the most difficult position